Good evening, my dear students. So this is the second module on PR2 or Practical Research 2. So this module is entitled How to Design Quantitative Research. So by design, what I mean is, after this module, dapat you already have a rough understanding kung paano ginagawa yung quantitative research. There are different types po kasi. And later on, you will see them. And for each type of quantitative research, there's a specific method or framework na sinusunod natin. Kumbaga, paano natin susukatin yung variables? Paano natin sila pagpapartnerin sa isa't isa upang makita yung cause or effect? It really depends on the type of design that you will use. I want you to understand this because kung ano yung pinili mong research design, it will affect the way you will gather your data. It will affect the type of data that you will gather. It will affect how you will analyze the data to arrive at the conclusion. Okay? So right here is the outline. Para makita natin yung categories, no? Lalong-lalo na dito sa non-experimental research design kasi medyo madami siyang subcategories. So definitely you can see in this outline that there are two types of quantitative research design, pwedeng non-experimental or experimental. When I say experimental, gusto kong isipin mo yung example ko about plant growth at saka amount of sunlight. So, experimental, magaganap siya talaga sa laboratory setup. So, di ba, if you can remember, iba-ibahin natin yung amount of sunlight. Tapos, susukatin natin kung aling grupo ng halaman yung nagkaroon ng malaki na plant growth and so on. As opposed to non-experimental. Mamaya malalaman niyo kung bakit tinawag siyang non-experimental. So under this type of design, may tatlo pa tayong categories. Pwedeng descriptive. So it will describe something, di ba? Later on, it will be discussed. Correlation or relationship. Causal and comparative. Ibig sabihin, may magaganap dito ang comparison and cause and effect relationship. Makita natin dito. Under descriptive, there's another two subcategories. Pwedeng gawin mo siya through observation or through survey. So I will walk you through each one of them. Para din sa dulo ng module, magkaroon ka ng kakaunting idea kung alin kaya yung pwede kong gamiting research design dun sa research study na gusto kong puntahan. So unahin natin yung pag-intindi kung bakit tinawag na non-experimental itong research na to. Bakit siya kahiwalay doon sa experimental? Pag kasi non-experimental, wala kang ginagawang manipulation ng variable. So doon sa example natin na amount of sunlight and plant growth, pwede kong i-manipulate, diba? Pwede yung group A na mga plants, pwede bigyan ko sila ng 2 hours of sunlight, yung isa 4 hours of sunlight, yung isa pwede hindi ko, diba, paarawan. O yung isa, pwedeng bigyan ko ng artificial. So, you can see that I am manipulating that particular variable. But in non-experimental variable, hindi po natin ginagawa yon. Either it's impossible or unethical to do it. Or it's not, it's impossible or it's unethical to do it. So, ang gagawin ko na lang, kung anong madatnan ko, yun ang susukatin ko as they occur naturally. So, let's take a look at this example. A study to quantify the disruptive classroom behavior. When you say disruptive, maybe this is being noisy, di ba? Yung standing, ganon. Kaya using the phone while the class, kumbaga nakaka-interrupt sa flow ng klase. So, di ba, kung ikaw yung researcher nito, ang gagawin mo, pwedeng pumasok ka sa isang classroom, mag-observe ka kung ano ginagawa ng mga estudyante. Wala kang ginagawang manipulation of variables. Siyempre, hindi ka naman pwedeng magsaway doon, di ba? Para umayos sila or something like that. O kaya ay kurutin sila na umayos ka, something like that. So you are only observing, recording as their behavior, classroom behavior occur naturally in the natural setting, sa sarili nilang classroom. Okay? So first type, di ba may tatlo, descriptive, correlation, and causal comparative. So first one, descriptive. From the word itself, you want to describe. In our example, you want to describe how the students are behaving. or what type of disruptive behavior are they doing. Hindi matatapos doon, no? Kasi you can also interpret. In our example, pwedeng alamin mo why they are behaving that way. Are the boys more or displaying more disruptive behavior than girls? So, pwede dito ay to describe and interpret the current status of individuals, yun nga, alimbawa students, o kaya ay setting. For example, you are describing the school setting, maybe before and after the pandemic. Conditions, like in our example, the science teaching in province A, or events. Maybe online class, diba? That's an event. So that's descriptive. In order to do descriptive research, so diba, descriptive, you can do it through observation research, tulad ng una kong minention. So, papasok ka sa classroom, you will observe. Or maybe some of you will say, sir, di ba po ano yun? Qualitative research kasi magtatala ka, magre-record ka ng mga nangyari. But, definitely you can come in with diba, with a tally sheet. Ibig sabihin, you already have a prepared parang table in the first column. Ano yung mga possible disruptive behavior na pwedeng gawin ng mga estudyante. And then, on the succeeding column, maybe you have a column for how many times did they do it? Sino ang gumawa noong disruptive behavior? Are those that are mga girls ba or mga boys? Mga students ba from the front seat or from the back seat? Diba? Ayun. So definitely descriptive siya kasi you will at the end of the research you will be describing these types of information, diba? So ano yung ginagawa nila ng disruptive behavior? Sino? Which group are doing that? How many times are they doing that? Or is this particular classroom actually disruptive yung behavior ng mga bata dito? Okay? So you are describing a behavior of the students. Pero pwede din namang diba? Pwede din namang survey research. You are more familiar with this. Diba? Lagi kang binibigyan ng mga questionnaire from the guidance office. So maybe you want to measure their attitudes towards online learning. Halimbawa, opinion about the administration, diba? Behavior, halimbawa ay social media behavior nila. So you have questions on how many hours do they use their Facebook, how often in a day, what time of day, experiences during the online class, diba? So how often do they participate? What is the level of parang engagement or enjoyment that they are experiencing, if any? Or other characteristic of the population. So when I say characteristic, this is referring to personal profile, diba? Kasi sa mga survey, you are asked with questions about your gender, about your age, about your grade level, for example, diba? So definitely you can do that in a survey. Okay. So, yung maganda sa survey, pwede mo siyang gamitin para maging hindi lang descriptive research yung magagawa mo. Pwedeng gamitin mo yung data para makabuo ka din ng isang correlation research. Okay? When we say correlation, iniimbestigahan mo ang relationship between two or more variables. So, halimbawa, gamitin natin yung ating sample study dito. So, halimbawa, you still want to quantify the disruptive classroom behavior. Pwedeng magtanong ka dun sa survey mo. Number 1, about their maybe your variable number 1 can be their interest in the subject matter. And then your variable number 2 is their self-assessment on their behavior inside or during the class, diba? So in the first part of the survey, maybe you will ask them about their interest about science, if this is a science class, no? And then on the second part of the survey, maybe you will ask them questions about their behavior. Do they use their phone? Do they talk to their classmates? And so on. So titingnan mo about the relationship of the two. So halimbawa, kapag ba mas interested yung isang estudyante sa klase, siya ba ay most likely magiging attentive at mas gagawa ng less disruptive behavior inside the classroom? Maybe that's your study. So, di ba? Here you will ask for descriptive questions. But later on, you will process those data to get or to understand the relationship between the two variables. Aside from that, you can also use your data from a descriptive research para makabuo ng causal or comparative research. So dito, ikukumpara mo yung attitude ng dalawa or higit pang subgroups. So maybe here, pwede mo i-compare, di ba? Are male students more likely to display disruptive behavior than female students? So ikukumpara mo ngayon from your descriptive data. Okay? When I say descriptive data, I'm still talking about numerical data, di ba? Kasi ano pa rin tayo dito, quantitative research. So, descriptive data in a sense na magbibigay ako ng frequency, di ba? I already mentioned it. How many times are they doing this particular behavior? How many boys are doing it? What percentage of class are using their phones, and so on and so forth. I'm still talking about numerical data. So in the next part of the module, I will talk about yung dalawa pang uri ng descriptive research, yung correlation research and the causal comparative research.